Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the live show. I hope everybody had a great day. Probably better than the video after that bounce back, and then it kind of pulled down today. I don't know what was going on, but I didn't think they were ready to bounce up like I was saying before, and they didn't. Apple, it wasn't too bad, and Meta, I'm telling you, Zuck has something crazy going on where he's like paying off paying something. We'll have to look at and see what they happened today. I forget what the heck it was. What the heck even did it even do? He did something. I forget what the heck he did. Oh, he had to pay like $25 million to settle Trump's 2021 lawsuit when he suspended his accounts. And then, so yeah, that he paid off. And then, yeah, it went up a lot more, like we were saying. I didn't like the earnings to play it, but it did look great. And we'll go over it just like everything else. Here we go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And like I said, I hope everyone had a great day locking in some profits, some great opportunities out there. And we'll find what's going to be popping. I shortened the list a little bit. I hope nobody minds. And I will take the messages and see what's going on. So post up what you guys want to see. We'll run through a few of them that were on the list that I thought were decent ones to check out. We'll see what else we're looking at. Our laptop travel list, we'll do our normal crypto and big caps and all them bad boys. And then I'll hit my scanners along with the other scanners and we'll go through. And I'm telling you, we'll see a bunch of them. Just get your paper and pencil out. I'll do the same thing and we'll jot a bunch of them down that you won't see anywhere else, but I guarantee you follow them, they'll be running like crazy. So we'll do that and focus more on things that are just popping any which way. So that's what we're going to look at. So here we go. Let's get cruising, everybody, and see what's happening. That GCTK, it did look really good today. It was run up a little bit. It pulled back some, but it doesn't look bad. It's still pretty set up, I think. Yeah, it definitely curled up there. Still looks good to me. That 20's way up there at like 15 cents. We're still at 9. It ran to 11 today. So it opened at 9, got up to that 11-cent area. It did look good, and it still doesn't look bad. So keep an eye on that GCTK. And we've been watching it. And yesterday I said, make sure you keep an eye on that thing because it did look like it wanted to move. And that 2-3 cent area was pretty nice where it ran up today, 2 cents, a little more. And it was looking pretty good, and it still does. So we'll keep an eye on that GCTK to see what it wants to do. And how about good old B Hat after the delisting notice? It was down today, a nice dip, hit the bottom right there. And it's trying to cross through, but it's trying to hold itself up because it doesn't want to cross through. Let's see. Actually, that's kind of crazy looking between the two of them. Yeah, I guess that could have happened right there. It's hard to tell, but on mine, and I'll look at it, it's just cruising right underneath that line. And I would assume we'll see if today was its bottom down there at 3 cents. I mean, I don't know how much lower it can really go, to be honest with you. So we'll have to see. It could have a bounce right there. And again, if they have it, if the delisting, if they get an extension off of that, it'll definitely bounce. And it's still in a good spot down here. It was a good spot up there, but it's in even a better spot down here considering it dipped, and it's sitting there right on that line right there. So keep an eye on B Hat. It's definitely interesting after it had 3 offerings in a week, a delisting notice the very next week, and just kind of crazy, or maybe not the next week, but right after them, 3 offerings, and it's just a crazy one. So we'll keep an eye on it tomorrow morning and see what B Hat wants to do. It could possibly get running off of there. And like I said, it's a great opportunity. It went down today, but then tried to bounce up in the after hours. And all the way down here, it could be a great opportunity to run that bad boy up there. So we'll keep an eye on BHAT. And RIME did pull back a little bit. And it is just still setting up. And just like before, when they're setting up, they like to dip down pretty good. Sometimes they'll run up and then pull back lower than what they were closed the day before. But these things are just kind of dipping down as they set up. This is trying to crawl up towards the line still. And yeah, it keeps dipping down there 15%. And it's at 2.5 cents right here. So another one could be a great opportunity. You just have to be very patient with all these things and make sure that you're just watching them. Again, it's just not hitting that line. And remember, we were doing this before, being extremely patient. Things started popping around the election, and I think it got a little crazy, and then we got a little wild. And but we have to reel it in and really focus on them ones that are going to really be popping. And again, they're hitting that line and not really crossing through every time, even though they look like they want to. So we really have to pay attention and focus in on them again, because they were just cruising through everything. And now they're getting back set up, and you had that whole deep seek thing and all kinds of stuff going on. So we'll let them get set up. Things will be bullish, but again, we just have to really focus on the ones that are exactly ready right there and just show you that they want to pop up, because besides that, they're going to pull back and run around for a while. So that's why I wanted to shorten up the list and then just kind of go through scanners and see what's happening. That SYRS, that could be a bottom right there. I threw it on the list because it did look like it could be bottoming out. We'll see tomorrow, and it did dip down from 20 to 18. It closed at 19, so we'll take a quick peek at that tomorrow and see. And TRNR actually doesn't look too bad. Either I can't even talk. It doesn't look too bad either off that dip today. It came down 237. Its high was 240, and it came down to 227 and closed at that 228. It's hitting that bottom line again, and it was trying to get set up the other day and just couldn't do it. And now it looks like it possibly could. So watch this thing in the morning, guys. That TRNR. That one could actually be getting set up finally. It looked like it tried to before it made that base. And this could be that dip and rip situation, that dip and rip look that we like. So keep an eye on that one. That's TRNR. And WTO, that was pulled back a little bit. It hasn't really set up since we've been looking at it. It's still over that MACD, but not really cruising up there yet. So we're just going to have to watch it. And again, it pulled back 32 down to 28. That's where it's at. And we'll have to see if these China ones are really trying to run here. They were set up and they ran for like a day, and then it was a wrap. But this EJH keeps running up for us, and that one we caught down at the bottom, down here at about 57 cents, and right now it's at 91. We looked at it just before it ran and knew it was going, and today it went 83 to 99. It's at 88 again, and it could get up into that top. So that is a China one that did move perfect for us, and I would watch it for more of a momentum play at this point because it's already run up 2 days. So just be careful. But yeah, that one not looking bad off of that run up for us for 3 days. And how about Holo? Took a nice dip down here, and it did run up the other day, and it's another one. It was still trying to curl up. I think we have a few more days. We got that nice pop the other day up to that 259. It's back to 168, and I really think it's going to get set up. What's tomorrow? Thursday? It's going to be a next weeker probably. So it looks like it still has a few days left if I had to guess. So hopefully the weekend nothing crazy happens, and maybe Holo will pop off. And again, this is a China one, so it is setting up. We'll have to see how that looks. And that is HOLO and CLEU. That's good old Clue. And this one's been just running up there. And today I think it topped out at that 790. We looked at it the other day. I forget which day, but it was in the sixes, I think. And if I remember correctly, and it's at 776. And like I said, it's in the top. I think it might be topping out up there. So just be careful with that CLEU. But that one did run up quite well for us right there. And that's another China one. And here we go with our ADTX. It was trying to move early this morning, and then it just kind of pulled back and went flat. It doesn't look bad, I'm not going to lie, but again, it's just not out of the basement yet. Just has that flat look, but again, not looking too bad. It's just a matter of when it can get out. It was trying to curl up the other day. This thing's day-to-day basis here, but I still think that bottom's going to be like 10 and a half, and you're just under 11 cents right now. So keep an eye on this thing. That's ADTX. And again, once it runs, it'll definitely get moving. That 20's way up here at like 15 cents. You're at 11. So it could rock and roll right through that and keep moving. So we'll keep an eye on it. And it's been in the basement for a long, long time right there. ADTX. What's the volume on this thing? 9.5 million. Seems to always have good volume. I'm not gonna lie. It's always that one day it was 24 million, sevens, 11s, eight. I mean, it has some volume all the time. So that's not what it's lacking. It just doesn't want to get moving. I have no idea what's going on with it, but it's still in the basement there, and we're still watching ADTX. That UMGP. Do you see this thing? This thing ran up again. This is that OTC one that we looked at the other day, and it went from like 3 to 5 cents. It's back to three. The other day when we looked at it, it was in like the low twos, guys. It was crazy. Actually, it might have been at 1 cent, just under two. And now it ran up to like five today. So that was that UMGP thing. And that definitely went cruising. I'm not so sure if it's going to run anymore, but that was a nice little run up right there. So that was nice. And let's see, TANH. Like I said, we're just trying to find our best opportunities and rock and roll with them. TANH, another China one, it's pulling back. So a lot of these were trying to set up, and now they're pulling back here. So they had like a day or two where they got like real crazy, and we'll have to see if they're dipping rips. But this opened at 16 and it got down to 14. It's at 15 now, so we'll take a look at it. And I didn't go getting in any of these China ones because couldn't even tell what the heck they wanted to do, and some random ones just started running off. So it was like a little weird. Before usually when they do this you can kind of tell the patterns that they want to run, but now it was like kind of odd. So DUO, this one had set up but didn't get moving yet, so it's kind of pulling back. We'll see if it's making a base. Another China one down here, and went 58 to 59 down to 56 and closed at that 58. So it did open and close at the same price. Does look like it could try to roll up, but again, not definitely showing us that it wants to. So we'll have to take a look at that DUO and see what it wants to do there tomorrow. And like I'm saying, these China ones, I put them on here. I was looking at them today, and I was like, I'm not so sure they really want to run now. So they look like they were trying to. That WIMI, that one tried to run the other day, and that one pulled back today. And I'm just wondering if they bottomed out today or if they're trying to really pull back and not run. So that's why I threw them on the list just to look at them. That VCIG we were looking at, and we're just going to watch this thing. I'm keeping it on the list here, and I want to see how far it pulls back. It got down to the bottom today. I'm not sure if it wants to get into the basement, but VCIG, they have all kinds of stuff going on, and it is just pulling back for us, and it's going to be a great opportunity. You can already see it on this chart, so we will keep an eye on that VCIG. That's one we looked at before. And that LSH, that one ran up the other day, and it was an interesting one today because it was curling up and hit the line and just stopped, but it didn't really look bad at all. I don't know what was going on, but 225, 220 to 226 came down to 206, and it's at 210. And like I said, it's just been stair stepping up trying to get to that line, and it almost hit it, and it just kind of stopped and went back. I mean, it wasn't anything really bad, I'm not going to lie, but keep your eye on this LSH. It wants to curl through that MACD. I think it's going to. And it has some resistance there at that 226 area. And then it has the 20 at 235, the 50s at 248. Has all kinds of stuff going on. So it gets in these channels, it can start really springing off and popping. It's a freight company. So keep an eye on that one for sure. And that is LSH. So I would just keep your eye on that guy. And let's look at, what did I even write there? Oh, yeah, PET, that pet. Let's look at PET and see what that's doing. And again, let me know if you guys want to see anything in particular. Just shoot a comment over, post a comment there, and I'll go through them and we'll take a look. I figured we just won't make a ton of them. We'll go through these bad boys. I'll go through everything. And then, like I said, I'll go through my scanners and pick out a bunch that we wouldn't usually see, but they're going to be all set up because how I have these the scanner set. So it will be pretty good. I was already kind of cruising around and looking. So PET, let's look at that one, WAG Group, and that one is. It's came down to I was looking at it today to see what it wanted to do. It had such an interesting look. It really could be one of them ones that's going to pop off tomorrow. It had that dip and rip look. 25 down to 23. It got up to 26, but it closed at 25. I would watch PET in the morning, guys, and see what it wants to do right there because that one looks like it's trying to do something, and it looks like it would rather go up than down. So I would take a look at that one for sure. And STSS had that big old dip, and it was dipping down a little bit more today. So we'll just keep an eye on this one. I just wanted to see how it closed, to be honest. 47 down to 36. It's at 39. So we'll see how low it wants to go right there. And that SXTC, that was moving. Oh, I think it was moving up earlier. Was that yesterday? I don't even remember. But again, this one came up to that MACD super hard, wanted to cross through and bounced off it and came down. So that's that look that, they wanted to go through, but they're just not doing it there. So we'll have to keep an eye on it and see what I mean, it even might have crossed through. Mine says it crossed through and it's staying over. The Finvis says it basically hit it and came down. Interesting that they're both looking different right there. But I'll go with mine, and even if it crossed through coming down, I think it's going to come down possibly. So I'll have to look at it in the morning, or it got reset up in the after hours. 43, I doubt it because this one came down too. So, and this actually says it's up to 45, and yeah, that's really weird. I don't even know what's going on with SXTC, but I'll take a look at that and see what the heck's happening with it. Let me just do that. And NIVF, this one was looking good yesterday and didn't get moving off that line, but it is set up, guys. So definitely one to keep an eye on. It didn't look bad today. It just didn't run. It went 26 to 28. It went up 2 cents, and then it closed at that 26. But that's one to keep an eye on right there. NIVF looking pretty good. So look at that one. And how about that Inovia? EYEN, and they just had that reverse split. Didn't they have a reverse split or something? Or they are reverse splitting? Oh, they are reverse splitting. That's what it is. So when is that? I forget. I thought they just did it, but let me look real quick what it says. Isn't it tomorrow? I think January 31st. So at the market open on February 3rd. So you still have a few days actually. I thought it was already happening there. But so it already pulled back today, hitting that bottom. I wanted to look at it after the split. I didn't look at it today. I just had written that it reverse split, and I figured we'd look at it, but it doesn't. So we'll look at it after the reverse split. That one was setting up in a great spot too. And again, I mean, we could have a whole list of these things that are just a complete disaster and just either have an offering, a reverse split, something crazy, or a delisting notice. I guess it is their fault, but it's not. And but yeah, it's just one disaster after another, and they just keep going down, down, down. They might pop up once for a couple minutes, and then it's just like over. It's just crazy. I'm telling you, it's wild to watch these things. So yeah, we're watching that for the reverse split was what I was looking at. And then we'll see what it wants to do because we know they like to run off that reverse split. We just don't want to be in it before it. So DRMA, this one's actually curling up pretty good. Didn't look too bad today. DRMA, I would keep an eye on this. It ran around 119 to 124. It closed at that 123, so it closed up there and doesn't look bad. So that one looks pretty decent right there. And how about MRN or mRNA? Wait, what is it? mRNA. Yeah, I was saying it right. Moderna. It sounded weird. It was down 422. It has earnings coming up. And I'm telling you, this thing's going to get set up. It looked like it was trying to pop off there, and it could very well pop up there tomorrow off this pullback here. So that's why I put it on the list today, mRNA. That 20 and 50 are trying to meet up. I'll have to look at it in the morning, but it actually didn't look bad on that pullback there. So that's why I wrote it there to keep an eye on it and just see if it does want to get set up tomorrow. And again, they have earnings coming up. I'm not worrying about them. I was just looking for that quick pop right there. So WISA, W-I-S-A, WISA Technologies is a semiconductor company, was trying to get set up and also had that pullback back today and could be another dip and rip situation. Opened at 141, got to 148, came down to 126 and closed at 133. So it was trying to get set up right there, and it does look like it's trying to get set up. Maybe it's just trying to buy some time right there. But yeah, it does look like it came down. We'll have to see if it wants to pull back anymore tomorrow, WISA. But yeah, that one, it was looking like it wants, and it is going to set up. It just looked like it was going to base out there. So that's why I'm saying look for that. Um, to see if that's bottomed out or if it wants to pull back a little bit more. But it will get set up fairly soon. And that's WISA, a semiconductor company, and that LRHC. I believe Zach Morris was interviewing the CEO. I didn't even catch it today, but that thing ran up big time. We went over it yesterday, and it was up over 10 cents today, over 25%. And it is curling through. I would be very surprised if it doesn't get through tomorrow and run. So keep an eye on that bad boy tomorrow. That's at LRHC. And like I said, that did run. We were looking at it today or yesterday, I mean, and it is curling up pretty hefty right there. So I'd be surprised if that doesn't get through and run up there tomorrow. So keep an eye on that one. And CTNT, your good old cheetah, it was down 14 cents. I threw it on there. It is setting up. It's looking good. I think it's a next weeker. And I think yesterday was its bottom at that 216. It's at 240. And I threw it on here so we could go through our other big cats as well. But yeah, CTNT definitely setting up right there. Just wasn't ready to cross through. And that's what I was kind of saying about a lot of these. They were still just getting set up and they weren't ready to just bounce back completely. That deep seek definitely took the air out of them, but it was okay. It wasn't okay, but they're gonna bounce back okay, let me say. So JAG-X right here was down to 4 cents. It ran up though today. I remember it was up at one point. Let me see what it did. 93 to 99, and then it came down to 87, and it was at 89, and another one curling up really good, guys. So you might want to just keep your eye on JAG-X as well, because that's looking really good along with the cheetah. And let's look at our buddy the lion, LGHL, and see what that's doing. That one's actually pulling back right there. That could have a little time to set up. I mean, I was trying to think what I wanted to say, but that has a little time to set up. It is trying to set up, curl up, but just not doing it yet. So we'll see when it's ready. Today, let's see if that 14's at bottom. It's back to 15 right there, and we'll have to take a look and see. It could pull back a little bit more. I'll take a look at the lion and see what it wants to do in that RCAT. Let's see. It was up 10 cents. And this thing's curling up really good, guys. So keep an eye on RCAT. That actually looks pretty nice right there. So yeah, I would say RCAT's not looking bad. Red Cat Holdings, that computer hardware, it looks like it's going to get in this channel at 935. It's at 940 to that 1048 area. So keep an eye on good old RCAT, and that's your big cat report right there. And that's brought to you by a local zoo by you. And but also COEP, this one was up another dollar, but it came out of the basement and bounced back up. I'm not even sure how it did it today. COEP. But it definitely did, and I was kind of impressed. It opened at like 11.37, went up to 12.99. Still not as high as its high the other day when it got up to like what 13.94. I think that was its high. And so we'll see though. It does look like it wants some momentum tomorrow to run back up. This thing's been crazy. COEP, Copitus or something. But yeah, someone on StockTwits is all about it, and it's just been running. It's that AI and blockchain next generation innovation thing. But yeah, maybe it will run up tomorrow. Watch for more of a momentum play because that's what it would look like at this point, and it's looked like that for days. But COEP. And let's take a look at REVB and see what that one's doing. Revelation Biosciences, because it just recently split the other day. Yesterday it did. And I wanted to see if it wanted to bounce up there. It was down today. It looks like it might have been bouncing in the after hours. Let me see. REVB here. And yeah, that could be its bottom right there. What'd it do? It went 450 to 470 down to 281, and it's at 350 right now. And let's just see if today was its bottom, like I said, because it did split, and we'll take a look at it and see if it wants to get moving off that reverse split. So that's REVB, and we'll take a look at that, see what it wants to do off that reverse split recently, and it could get moving there. So some pretty decent setups to keep an eye on here. And OCEA, let's look at that one real quick. It was way down today, big dip down there. Let's see if it wants to bounce. That's the thing with this one. It went 36 to 75, it down to 24, and it closed at 27. It ran all over the place. And is it going to run tomorrow? I would watch it to see if it tries to bounce, guys. I can't promise you. It does have a weird, weird look with that run up and dip today. I mean, it was crazy. So I would just keep an eye on it. I can't really say that it's going to bounce up. Sometimes they have that look where you can kind of tell. I would just say look at it in the morning at OCEA and just see if it does want to bounce up. It looks like it's up a little bit in the after hours right there to 27 cents. So it could be up a little bit. So just watch for that bounce play on that one. And that is OCEA. And how about that OCGN? Let's see what that one's doing today. It was trying to get moving yesterday and it was up a little bit today. And it does look like it's trying to crawl back up here. So keep an eye on this OCG and it might get set back up and moving again. So it didn't look bad. It was kind of running down in a bearish track almost, but I feel like it could get run up there into the 78 and really get moving back up into like the 80s. It could actually change the chart right around. It looks like it wants to. That's why I'm saying and keeping an eye on it because it actually could do it and it's not looking too bad. So OCGN, keep an eye on that one. And NIO, this was down 10 cents. And what was it doing today? It was crossed through there. NIO, let's see. Yeah, just kind of pulling back, hit that 20. I'm not so sure it's ready to get up into that channel just yet, so I'd have to look at that. That's another China auto manufacturer. And again, I'm not sure what's up with the China ones, but they don't want to run so much. And I think this ATHE ran in the after hours. Let me see what it's doing here. 485 to 794, and it's at 680, so it certainly did run in the after hours. Finviz has it at 291 today. Oh no, it don't even have anything today. It doesn't. Well, that's crazy. It stopped on the 27th. I'm not sure what happened to this thing, but Finviz doesn't even have the price. But this did run up, I know, and this is today's date for mine, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. But it did run up big in the after hours. I saw it ATHE. So we'll have to see in the morning again. Once they run up in them after hours, they're usually not running that much in the morning anymore. They used to, but not so much anymore. And how about GSAT? If I could write it in right, GSAT, Global Star, took a nice dip today, but it is setting up here. So we'll definitely keep an eye on GSAT. 186 went up a penny and then came right down to 129 and it closed at 156. So, like I said, let's see if that 129 was its bottom. It very well could be. It did almost touch the bottom there. So, and it wants to set up. So, keep your eye on GSAT because that's not looking bad right there. And let's look at this HURA. This thing's cruising along today, up 74 cents, hitting that resistance, but I think it's about to make it its support line. Check this thing out in the morning. HURA. It looks really good. 477 to 515, and your 20 and your 50 or your 20's coming up to crawl up and hit that 50 up there, and it looks like it wants to move right along and keep going. So keep an eye on it. It's at 512, and it could keep cruising up there. So HURA. Take a look at that one. It's called like Tuhura Biosciences or something like that. And it is looking pretty healthy right there. So let's keep an eye on that bad boy. Let me mark that one. And good old TPET here, TPET, was up 22 cents. And it looked pretty good that it wanted to curl up here and try to get moving, TPET. So take a look at it. I know it's run up recently for us. It was up to that 325. It's at 186 right now. We just have to make sure it does want to curl back up because it curled down through the MACD, but it looks like it wants to at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on that one in the morning. I'll see what it wants to do. And that's TPET. And there you go with them bad boys. I'll run through the laptop travel ones real quick. You know, there'll be a lot of good setups there so you can focus on them. And I thought that would be better too if we had a bunch that you could focus on rather than like an entire page of ones that are just like all over the place. At least we know laptop travel ones are going to be set up. I'll pull a couple ones that I see and they could be setting up or getting ready to pop up. And then we'll run through the scanners and see exactly what's going to be moving. So we'll move it along and we'll do our crypto and I'll answer whatever anybody's in and wants to look at. We'll run through them real quick as well. And that way we don't have a huge list and we can keep it cruising there and focus more on the poppers. So I thought that might be a better way. I thought we'd give it a shot and see how it goes along. So let me know what you guys think too after the show. If it works out well, and we'll stick to this format and keep it cruising. So here we go, and we will do our laptop travel ones. And he's at a beautiful wedding, it looks like, and he's still sending in his laptop travel list here. Compass Pathways, CMPS, up 15 cents today, and it could keep its momentum. Just be careful. Has resistance there at 428. It's at 409. But not looking bad. And honestly, if it doesn't get through tomorrow in that channel, it'll just set up there and bounce off that 422 area. So pretty good one right there. CMPS, CRWS, Crown Crafts. We were looking at this one, and it's getting to be right in the right spot, guys. So tomorrow, this thing could be popping off. CRWS right here. And this is that one I was talking about. Has some crazy runs, and you might want to look at it because it's run up twice, all the way up to $7 from 445 or something. What it close at? Yeah, like right around that area. And it is at 450 right now. And I'm telling you, this thing is trying to get moving. So keep your eye on the CRWS. It could get running there again. And it does. It has these big spikes, I guess, in the after hours. I'm not sure because it doesn't show it on FinViz, but it absolutely has them. It must be in the after hours, but heck, you can trade them still, and they would be great hits because they're running up to $7 right there. It's pretty wild. That's CRWS right there. And DLHC, DLH Holdings, this one's about to pop up. It has earnings coming up on the 5th. But I would look at this tomorrow as well because this one is right there, and it was moving today, 746 to 787. It's at 785 right now, and it is looking good to crawl off that MACD and get cruising. And that is DLHC, DLH Holdings. So keep an eye on that one because that one looks good too. And Hook, let's look at our good old Hook right here. HOOK. Let's see. It's just a little pullback. It's in that channel right there. So just let it run around in this channel and then it'll get hooked up there. And it's trying to now. It's 195 to 209 is at 199. And it'll get up to this 219, 220 area. And then it'll want to pop up there. So let that one hook up a little bit more and then it'll get moving. HOOK, that is Hook. And IVA, Inventiva or something. I have no idea. Inventiva. I'm gonna say it is. They have earnings coming up on February 13th, and that thing's getting set up and looks like it could run up there tomorrow. So IVA, I would look at. It did run up, I think, in the after hours here, 227 to 289, and it's at 284. And this says it's at 230. I was looking at that, not even looking, and it even says it went up to 268, and it went up even higher than that. So IVA, it did look good to run up tomorrow, and it did already run up in the after hours. So there you go. It looked good, I'm not going to lie. So look at it in the morning. It could still be a little momentum right there, but it did run up in the after hours. So if you had it, it is moving for you. And this KFS, this Kingsway Financial Services, this one's going to get cruising. It's up 10 cents and looks really good. KFS. So look at this bad boy as well. And it went 711 to 826 and then it closed up there. So it did. It closed yesterday up at 812. So it came down to 711. I was wondering what was going on. It had to take a lunch break at 7-Eleven, and then it popped back right up to 826 into that channel. That was a nice little dip and rip situation for you today. And that's KFS, not KFC, and KFS, Kingsway Financial Services, and should try to run a little bit tomorrow, I'd imagine. So keep an eye on that one too. And good old Loop. Let's see what Loop this is on. And this one's pulling back today. Yeah, it's still in that channel. This one had a big old channel right there. LOOP. If I could spell the word loop, it would help. But yeah, it's in that channel right there at like 118 up to 128, and it didn't even get up that high. But it did close at 118. Its low is 115, and it opened at 121. So yeah, let it just roll around that channel for a few more days, maybe until next week, and then that'll loop on up there. And then MNY Money Hero. This one's about to be a good money hero for you guys. It's setting up really good, MNY. So keep an eye on MNY here. Just curled through 111 to 110, closed at 111. It's like kind of odd. It doesn't even look like it moved around. I'll look at it tomorrow, but it looks like it wants to do something here. MNY. And it doesn't have any news recently, so but it is looking pretty nice, I must say. MNY. I'll keep an eye on that one. NHTC. Here we go. NHTC, Natural Health Trends Corp. This one just pulled back today to the 20. I could see it maybe just setting up here. Nothing. I don't think it's going to be popping tomorrow, but it will get set up. Although it is looking pretty, not decent on mine, but it pulled backward at 20 and 50 when I meet up. It's hitting that 20 and hitting that MACD line. Looks yeah, I guess it does look like that on here. And I have to look at that one tomorrow, actually. Let me take a look at that one. What is it? NHTC. Let me see what that one wants to do right there. And that PAVM, let's see what PAVM is doing. It's PAV something. PavMed, that's what it is. And it is flat. That's what it's doing. It is going to set up PAVM, but PavMed is flat here off the 20. It could start to move here. It's just been flat the last 2 days, but it could start to curl up. So keep an eye on it for a little curl up on PAVM tomorrow. That could happen. Riley was down today, 17 cents. And it's in that channel. It ran up yesterday. It looked like it wanted to keep that momentum today, but I guess it didn't. Let's see. 480 to 488. It did go up a little. Came down to 463, and that's where it's at. And it's basically right on that bottom channel line on the 20s, like 467, 466. It's right there. It's not crossed through and coming down on the MACD, so it should try to bounce around in this channel, I would think. And RILY should get set up for next week. RMAX, RMAX, that's Remax Holdings. And I would think this one would be a bigger one. It's only at 1020. And let's see. It does look like it's trying to pull back. It's got a big channel right here to get into, RMAX. And it's been in there for the last few days, but it's not ready to run yet. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. That'll be a setup coming up for next week. SRFM, Surf Air Mobility. That one ran up but pulled back today. And it is setting up. It just wasn't ready, it looks like. Let me see. 499 to 516. Its low is 420. Took a little smoke break, and then it closed at 425. And it is pulling back down here to that 20 at like 499. It was coming up hard on that MACD line. Again, before when they'd hit that line and come down, next time it gets curled up, you're going to know it's going through. So we knew that before. It happened before, and they just got all scrambled around now, especially with that DeepSeek stuff on Monday. And now you're just seeing a little bit, they wanted to get that momentum to cross through. They just don't have it because things aren't right. So they're hitting the lines and pulling back down, and next time they'll cross through. So that's the look we're seeing. Nothing too crazy. I mean, we wish they were crossing through and running right now, of course, but what are you going to do? You can't control the news all the time. TNGX, this one's looking pretty good, guys. Keep an eye on this. It's in that channel. It'll probably stay in there for a few days, TNGX, and probably next week. But yeah, that channel's like 307 to 330. It went 313 to 320. It's at 311 right now. and it's jamming out. So at TNGX, and it will get set up. It's probably a next weeker. And how about Twin Disc Incorporated? I keep saying Disco. Twin Disc Incorporated. It's a machine company. Let's see. Yeah, it's just getting set up here. That one's in that channel, and it's actually got a big setup coming up. So I think it has a little bit of time. We'll check it out, obviously, maybe tomorrow, next week, and see what it looks like. VRA, Vera Bradley's looking pretty good. It's trying to curl up here off that 20. So that's one that you can take a look at for tomorrow. It's trying to get right up back up in there tomorrow and could get moving 369 to 379. It's at 377. So that's one to take a look at. VRA. That one could be setting up. And VRCA. Let's see what that is. I didn't even look at this. VRCA is Verica Pharmaceuticals. And let me look. VRCA. Well, let me type it in. VRCA, Verica Pharmaceuticals says the same thing. That's always a good start. And yeah, it's making a base on this nice 20, a nice base on this 20, and probably a next week or two. So we'll keep an eye on that one. VRCA, and that's our laptop travel list. We'll look at our Jolie's jams. There's only a couple of them. They're quick. Agrify, I'm expecting this one to bottom out and start curling up. Could be a great opportunity down here, guys, at that 1930. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on that Agrify and see if it wants to curl up. And the same thing with Blink, BLNK. It was touching that bottom and bounced back off. I think that's going to get run up there. And it's way down, BLNK at 122. So keep an eye on that. They're both pretty good setups right there, all the way beat down. And SEZL, Sezzle, this one's getting set up, guys. I always say I wish they had um options on it, but they don't. But it is running up. It was up like over $6 today. I looked at it, and 233 to 244 was up even more than that. And it was low as 231 at some point, but it closed at 242 there. So Sezzle was getting sizzling, and it is looking pretty good to run up there. Just watch for any dips. And good old Rivian was down. I know that. And it was just kind of, I think it's going to get set up down here. Has earnings coming up like February 20th. So they're far enough out, but I think it's going to have to make a base down here before it gets moving again. So we'll keep an eye on Rivian just to see when it wants to run back up. But we nailed that thing from the bottom all the way to the top last time. It was a beauty. And this STRL, this thing's going to be a nice one as well. It was up $1.43. Oh, it was up a little bit in the after hours too. Sterling, keep an eye on this because I have a feeling this one's going to get cruising as well. So STRL is looking pretty decent to try to curl back up. So that one don't look bad. 140 to 145. It closed at 144 right there. So not bad. And good old Symbiotic was looking good last night. It just kind of bounced around, but I'm telling you, that 20 and 50 are meeting up. It was coming down on the line. And I think somehow it's going to have to bounce off of there tomorrow. So keep an eye. It may just roll off that MACD, make a nasty curl, and get cruising there. So 29.60 to 29.99, and it's at 29.80, and it's looking really good there. So keep your eye on that Symbiotic. I know I wrote it down last night, and it was looking really good, and it still is. So there you go with them bad boys. That's your Jolie's Jams, your laptop travel list. And we'll go cruising right along. We'll go right into our big caps and all them guys. I'll knock them out, then I'll hit the crypto, and then we'll take and see the messages, and I'll roll through some scanners and see what's going on, what's going to really be popping, and you can make a whole nother watch list off of that. So you'll have tons of opportunities to pick something really good without as much confusion of like 100 and something that are just running around not really doing as much. So we'll try to, like I said, focus on the ones that are going to be moving. We'll go through a bunch of them that we go through. And like I said, our laptop travel list is solid. It's always cruising up, a lot of great ones. So we'll keep them. And our Jolie's Jams, we appreciate hers. Jolie's Jumpers and a couple that she likes. So we look at them. And actually, there's some great setups sometimes. They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. So they're decent. And then we just go through the rest of the poppers and see what's hopping. So that's what I look at. And let's see what's happening with our SPY today. It was down 271. And like I told you, I wasn't convinced everything was ready to go back up. It still had to shake the dust out, I guess, from this deep seek stuff. And it doesn't look terrible. I mean, it's not crossing down or anything. Your 20's coming up for your 50. It could pull back down into like the 597 to get set up. So it could be a little bit red or pull back tomorrow. And so we look at it at 7 a.m. all the time, and we always know. So we definitely will. That's what it looks like at the moment to me, anyway. It does look like it could have some pullback, and it could even pull back in the morning and then get curled back up. So let's go through the other ones, the big caps, the Mag 7, see what they're up to, and then we'll see what else is happening. Apple was up $1.10. They do have earnings. When was that? Tomorrow. No, wait. Yeah, tomorrow, the 30th. Tomorrow's already the 30th. Friday's the 31st, and then we start the February off next week. That's insane. So January's already about gone. And so here we go. We're going to be rolling into February real fast. And yeah, Apple, it was up $1.10. Says it was down in the after hours. It was curling up. I know that. Curling through, I mean. And it is hitting that 50. It's a difficult one if it's going to stay up there, and it does have earnings. I wouldn't mess with it with the earnings. I would have popped it up to here and taken that win right there. So that is your Apple. We'll look at it in the morning, see what it wants to do. Amazon was down $1.08, never got over that resistance right there. It was hitting that top area. It's going to just get set up. It'll probably pop up over that 240. But it'll dip down, and again, tomorrow could have a little bit of pullback. So that could be pulling back just to set up to get up over that 240. Google, that was just running around today. It wasn't doing a whole lot. And it does look like it could pull back there. So Google does look like it could pull back. Let me see in the after hours here. It's trying to crawl up. I'm not so sure it can cross through, to be honest with you. I'll look at it in the morning, see what it wants to do. Good old Meta, like I said, that was up. Zuck paid off his debt there, and it's 678.89 up to 716. Can you believe this thing's at 716, and it closed at 691. So it was cruising up there, guys, but not one I would be messing with up here. And didn't they have earnings today? To 29th. Yeah, they had earnings. They look good. But again, it's in the top. We'll see if it wants to be a momentum runner in that top. But I'm not exactly sure right there, but it already ran pretty hardcore for us. MSFT, a little bit of pullback. I think they had earnings today too, and they look like they were pretty good, but it still went down a bunch. It went down a whole lot in the after hours. So it says it went down like $24. I'm not sure what happened in the earnings right there, but 446 down to 414, and it closed at 421. So big pullback, and now you see why I don't play the earning. Earnings says it's all green. Everything looks good. And I don't know. It took a huge dip. I just don't get it, but I don't play them because they just drive me insane. And every time I think something's going to happen, it'll do the opposite. So NVIDIA looks like it is pulling back a little bit more. It's not exactly ready. So wait for it to get set up some more, and then it'll have to bounce back up off that crazy day on Monday. And Tesla was down some more, and I don't think they did well on their earnings. I know they had earnings. It looks red and a bunch of minuses. And like I told you, it wasn't ready. I wouldn't have played with it. I said, wait for it to hit the earnings. We'll see it dip down, and it is getting set up. So it will get moving. It just didn't want to do it for the earnings for sure. AMC, this thing's getting set up. It was down 9 cents, but it is trying to get set up right here, guys. Looks like it has a little bit of time, but AMC does look like it wants to do something. And good old Unity, we'll look at that. That was down 31 cents today. And it is crossed through going right there. Not looking too bad, actually. Right above that channel. We'll have to look at Unity tomorrow, you. And how about GameStop? We'll look at that one. That was up 5 cents. And again, this one's actually starting to curl up with a big old curl up. So could take some time, but it looks much better. That low looks like it was 26.46, and you're at 27.68. GameStop looking a little better there. And that Chewy, I'm telling you, it was up. It was down today at one point. I know that. And it ended up being up 38.88 to 39.18. Its low is 38.40 and it closed at 39.15. So just under a tie. And I'm telling you, this thing is setting up, guys. It looks like it wants to get up into that top and get cruising for whatever reason. I have no idea what's going on, but something's going on at Chewy. And yeah, I have no idea what the heck's happening there, but it looks really good. All I know is it's been setting up. Netflix here, that was actually up. It looks like it wants to curl into the top. See if it does it tomorrow, and it'll be a good momentum play right there. So you can keep an eye on that for a little momentum. And AVGO, these guys were down. It was up in the after hours. It said I didn't even see it, but it does say it on FinViz. Let's look. And 213 to 218, it's at 215, so it was up a little bit. And so yeah, there you go. AVGO, they got smoked the other day, and again, I don't think they're exactly ready to bounce back up. MU was up a little bit, and another one I don't think's exactly ready to bounce back up. Just that right there. Let me do this. It's all windy out there, and my ring keeps going off because everything's the trees are blowing around like the plants and everything keep making the ring go off. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, MU Micron Technology, that one's pulling back here, and like I said, I don't think these guys are just ready yet after getting smashed down on Monday. So they'll just take a couple days or next week or whatever to get set back up. TSM, this was trying to rebound. It looks like it went up in the after hours. It was down today. TSM 204 to 206, and it's at 204.16. So it looks like it closed and opened right around the same spot for TSM. SMCI, this was down a hair, but it does look like it was trying to curl up earlier. It's way down there now, huh? It had like a little curl up look at some point today, but it's just pulled back there. It could be its bottom yesterday at that 27-22 area. We'll keep an eye at it an eye on it. It's at $28. So that's SMCI. We look at it each day anyway. So AMD, this one was up like $3 today, pulled back a little bit in the after hours. They do have earnings coming up next week. This thing looks like it wants to roll off that MACD and get cruising. So we'll have to take a look at it. It just sat there today, and it looks like it wants to blast off tomorrow, guys, for some crazy reason. Looks like yesterday was its bottom, and it looks like it wants to run with the earnings coming up. So keep your eye on AMD. That does look like a great setup right there. And good old QCOM. This one looks like it's trying to curl up to go a little higher. So keep an eye on that one to try to run up into the top right there. Let me see what it did in the after hours. QCOM. Yeah, it definitely looks like it wants to curl up to get into that top right there. So keep an eye on QCOM and INTC, good old Intel. Like I said, this chart changed around a little bit. They have earnings coming up tomorrow, and it does look like it's going to be pulling back. It was set up pretty bullish, and then all of a sudden it changed. They change quick like that sometimes. That's why I say you just never know. I look at them at the moment, and sometimes when I come back to it, I go, that wasn't the setup. So the entire chart changes, and something happens. You know that. And then you just got to go from there. I mean, there's nothing that you can do about it. I'm not going to go and change anything or get upset about it. So I just go and look at it from there and then, just revisit what I was looking at and execute a plan or whatever I have to do. So sometimes it happens. I'm not going to lie. They change within a minute. I've seen it happen. Looked at it, came back like 3-4 minutes later, and the entire charts are different. I'm like, whoa, that was quick. And there's nothing you can do about it. And you looked at it, it looked great for 1 minute. You've seen I've posted before. I say it. I'll post something and like 10 minutes later it'll pull back and I go, well, that didn't look like that. And let me find the bottom for you guys now. And I've done it multiple times. So even, sometimes I think they're going to curl up and run and all of a sudden they pull back on me. And yeah, nobody can be perfect. I promise you. But yeah, PayPal, this one's trying to curl back up here. And they do have earnings next week on the 4th as well, and it looks like it does try. It wants to try to curl off that MACD as well. Yeah, that 20 wants to pull it up tomorrow. I would look at PayPal tomorrow. That one doesn't look bad at all. So I would keep an eye on that. PYPL, that looks decent. Snow, I think, was up today again. We were liking that one. I believe it was up. No, it was down, actually. I'm lying. It was up yesterday into the top. I thought it was up today, but I'm definitely lying. It was down, it says. 188 to 189 and then down into the 170s. So I must have been thinking about it yesterday because I remember it ran up there and it did run up, I mean, a little bit. What did it close at? It closed at 187. It opened, maybe I did. I saw first thing this morning we were looking at it. That's when it was. And it opened up early. It opened up and it was up in the morning. So that's when it was up and then it pulled back. I never noticed it. But yeah, it doesn't look terrible. It looks like I mean, it could have topped out, but I don't think it did. I'll look at it tomorrow because it did get into the top, pull back, but I have a feeling it wants to run up there a little bit more. We'll look at that SNOW and see if it does want to run up some more right there. And let's look at DELL. DELL, good old Dell. This thing's been struggling down here. It is going to get set up, but it might be a little while. It looks like yesterday could have been its bottom at $100. But we'll have to make sure. And again, this thing's still got time to really set up. A lot could happen. We'll get a quick run up on it, so we'll watch it to see when we can get that quick little pop up. But yeah, it's not really set up to be honest with you. And this PLTR, this was running around today. I think it was down a little bit, but nothing crazy. 80.40 to 80.82. Came down to 77.81 and it closed at 79.65. So nothing real bad right there. And honestly, it doesn't look bad. It kind of looks like it's setting up to go even higher for that next leg up for PLTR. And that's just been a beast. And Sophie's just making a base right here on that 20. Then they had earnings the other day. It's pulled back onto the MACD. Let me see this thing. Yeah, it's right on that 20. I have a feeling it's going to try to roll off of here. Even if it comes down into like the lower 15s, it's not going to be bad, but I don't think it's going to come down much more. And that's Sophie. We'll look at it tomorrow and see if it does. I mean, it has like a pullback look, but I'm not so sure it's going to pull back. And you know, these things bounce right off these 20s. Any line that Sophie and PLTR can bounce off, it's bouncing off them. It's been doing it like that for a while now. So I would watch for that for sure. And Mara looks much better after it pulled back the last few days. It looks like it wants to roll off that MACD. So much better look for Mara, MARA. So keep an eye on that one. And good old Riot is looking much better. Not curled up yet, but looks like it did bottom out. RIOT. So just keep your eye on Riot and it's going to cause a riot soon. Let's see where its bottom was, 1071, right around there. Today could be its bottom, actually. So we'll watch it and see if it pulls back any more tomorrow, depending on how crypto's running. But yeah, RIOT not looking bad, and neither is Mara. And how about MicroStrategy, MSTR? It was back up today. I'm not so sure it's exactly ready. It's curled through. I think it has to set up. Has earnings coming up on the 5th, so it has them next week. And we'll have to see what day is that. Next Wednesday. So next week is MicroStrategy's earnings, and I think we'll play it after that, to be honest. So we'll keep an eye on MicroStrategy, see how it sets up into the earnings, and then we'll look at it then. CLSK, that Clean Spark. Now that one's setting up really good down here as well. And I would say that one's going to try to get moving. CLSK, let's look at it. Yeah, it looks like it's going to try to roll off that MACD, at least start to tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on that, make sure it wants to. But it does look like it's going to right there. Coinbase looked really good. It was up $9 today, and it looks like it wants to roll up there higher. So keep your eye on COIN. That's looking good as well. And that DJT was up today too. They announced some crypto thing or something. I don't know. I don't even know what they announced. I'll have to look and see. But anyway, yeah, I was just looking to see if I saw anything. There's way too much news, but it is trying to get curled up down here. It's not ready completely yet, so you could see some pullback. But it ran 30.10 to 35.36, and it closed at 32.18. So keep your eye on DJT to try to get set up right there. And I'm telling you, fun is about to get fun, guys. So keep your eye on it. Just watch for any dips down here. Not sure if yesterday's 379 was its bottom. It's at 396. But PHUN is getting that look where it's getting fun. So going to get fun. So keep your eye on that one. And MTN, that one pulled back a little bit more today, I believe. Yeah, down $2. And it was up the other day and then had a quick bounce back. And again, it just was trying to bounce up through the MACD, and they're not ready yet. They're like waiting until they get all the way down for whatever reason. So yeah, MTN is going to get set up. We'll see if it can curl up there tomorrow for Val Resorts, good old Mountain MTN, and then it will get cruising back up. So we'll watch that. And McDonald's was down today too, and this one's trying to get set up. It was looking good, ran up the other day. They have earnings coming up, so let's see, when are them earnings? Let me look. February 10th, so that's in like 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, we still got some time for them. And this has some time to really set up. So maybe their earnings are going to be better than we expect. We'll keep an eye on McDonald's as we usually do. And let's look at BA here. Good old Boeing was down. And I'll tell you what, let it pull back. Didn't they have earnings today or yesterday? The other day, the 28th. It was yesterday. Yeah, they had earnings yesterday. Let it pull back a little bit, but Boeing's going to be a great one. They're getting all kinds of contracts or something crazy, I'm telling you, because that thing's setting up as well. So we're going to keep an eye on it. We're just going to watch for that bottom on BA for Boeing and space. This one's been a disaster. We might have to take this off. We might have to just watch for this bottom pop up now because it just entered the basement. I mean, it is way down there. So SPCE. That one's been a disaster down there, so we might just change that one for IBM. Why don't we do that anyway? We look at Rivian. IBM was up 297 and then $20 in the after hours. Wow, look at that, IBM. I told you that one was looking good, right? And boom, there it goes, 226 to 258, and it's at 248. So there you go with IBM looking nice, and we knew that one was going to run. So there you go with that. Good old IBM did it there. So I don't know why it did look like it was good. It was going in the earnings. Remember, I said I didn't like it. I don't like earnings, but they're starting to get that look where you can kind of tell. At least I'm starting to get a little better idea. I don't understand it because sometimes they're like these green E's and they go dipping down, but they give you that look like Tesla. You could tell that was coming down. A few, you could just kind of tell. And they still beat earnings sometimes. Tesla didn't, but I'm just saying sometimes they beat the earnings and come down. I don't get it. But if I get that look on them where we just know, like IBM, Netflix had that look, this had that look, a few other ones. So maybe we'll have to just, if we only get that great look like this and they're going to fly up like that, we might have to jump in them because that was a nice pop up in the after hours right there for IBM. So there you go for that. And Disney, that's up $1.05, and that looks like it wants to bounce up a little bit more. Oxy, they were down a little bit, and I'm just wondering they're just going to pull back a little bit more. I was wondering when they're going to get set up. Same with ExxonMobil. It has earnings coming up. When is that? Tomorrow, the 31st, on Friday. So ExxonMobil has earnings, and honestly, it looks like it wants to roll off that MACD, and I bet ExxonMobil does well on its earnings right there. From that look, we'll look at it tomorrow, but yeah, it does look like it might do well off the earnings. I don't know if they're going to beat earnings or not, but it does look like it might go up. Nike is up 219. I told you this thing was going to go up, and it's going to continue. It was up. It's up to 76.58 right there, and still looking good. And DXYZ was down. This thing's getting set up. Just let it set up right there, and it'll be much better. So there you go with them bad boys. Let's look at our crypto real quick, see what's going on with this. Um, I had that Elon Trump. We'll look at that ETF 500. Bitcoin's back to 104, it says. Ethereum's still at 3,100. It's at 3,153. Ripple's at 311. And Solana's at 237, trying to move back up. Doge is at 33. Cardano's back to 96, and they are looking a little better right there. Let's hop into the app and see what the charts look like real quick. So let me jump in and see what's going on real fast. Here we go. Here we go. Let's take a look and see. PDF. Here we go. All right. Yeah, it's looking much better here. It's still, yeah, it looks like Bitcoin's at a critical spot, to be honest with you. It either wants to curl up like crazy or go dipping down real hard. And I think it wants to curl up, is what it looks like at the moment. And you do have that 50 underneath of it, which is pretty solid. So that's nice to have that support. So I would have to assume it wants to go up from there. So I'll be keeping an eye on it. Ethereum, like I said, it just has this huge channel right here. And it's just going to bounce around, I think. And Ethereum's just not going to do what it did last time. So it's just not the solid one. Ripple's up to 311, and that thing looks pretty good. And it wants to get ripping again, it looks like. So, yeah, I think that's going to try to curl right back up through the MACD real soon. I think if we have a green day tomorrow, these things are going to be cruising around. So that's Ripple. Solana's at 237 again. And it is looking like it wants to base out there and try to curl up again. We'll see if it gets curled up. If they do curl up right here, they made enough room. They got down to the 50. They could pull back some more. They're not showing me that they definitely want to get moving. They just look good at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on them. We'll look at them in the morning. Cardano's at 96. And it's still, so it's right there at that spot where the 20 could push it down, or if it jumps up over it, you know it's going to start moving. So Cardano ADA is in a critical spot. I'll be watching that. Doge is at 33, and let's keep an eye on this thing real quick. And Doge is has that 50 right above it coming down, and it could get pushed down. We'll have to see. It is trying to curl up like the rest of them. They all cross through coming down on the MACD. And like I said, they're not showing me that they really want to go cruising yet, but they could get set up. So Chainlink's at 2411, and let's look at Bonk real quick and see what it wants to do here. BONK. And that one, because it was at that bottom yesterday, it was an interesting one. It had crossed through coming. It was past the 200 and the 50s above it coming down. It does look a little bit better, and it was all the way down to the 30 and trying to bounce off of there. So we'll see if it does get cruising and actually crosses through that MACD, gets rolling up again. And that's BONK. Good old bonk. So there you go with some crypto. And let me look at that ETF 500 real quick and see where that's at real fast. Let's look at it. It is pulled back. It's at like 0.022 and 0.021 maybe. And like I was saying to my buddy, let it come back to that 2 cent area and it'll be perfectly fine because that'll make a nice base for it. So that doesn't look bad at all. I'm just going to pull up the other chart. I'm looking at it online, but I can get a better. I can't get the deck screener on my computer for whatever reason. It doesn't want to let me do it. It just keeps telling me that it wants to verify that I'm a human, and it won't let me do it. It lets it happen on my phone though, so I don't know. What is going on with this thing? Damn it! Hold on 1 second. Let me get this thing where hold on, watch list, and come up to this one, and here we go. All right. It's at 21 million market cap, and it did pull back some. Not the end of the world. Like I said, I think it that 2 cent area is like a perfect base for it to go back up to that next level. So we were talking about it under a penny. It's still over 2 cents. It's making that base, so it can make that next level up, and then you'll see it go from 2 to 4 up to 6. So that's what it looks like to me, and I'm obviously watching it. You know that, and I don't think it comes up on here. I highly doubt it. I couldn't imagine. Yeah, I was gonna say I had to try it on my Trend Spider, but I was like, I highly doubt it'll come up there. But I did pull up a couple different charts. Crypto.com even has it on theirs and a little chart for them, so you can see the 24-hour to yearly to 6 months or whatever. And like I said, it just has a little bit of pullback, let it get based out and run back up there. So nothing crazy there either. So just a little bit of easy pullback on that ETF 500. And there you go for that. And let's take a look and see what you guys want to see. Let me go through the messages and see what's going on here. Let me cruise through and see what's happening. And then, like I said, I'll go through my scanners and I'll let you guys know a couple other ones that look good. So let me cruise on down and see if anybody left anything. I did see a couple. PW, let's look at that one. We haven't looked at that for a while. And there we go. Power right. And that is curling up finally. Remember, we looked at it way back here at like 228 area. Right in that area. I know exactly which candle it was. And now it finally looks really good, guys. So that PW does look nice finally. Keep an eye on that tomorrow, everybody. That looks really good there. And there you go for PW. I like that one. Mr. AC Slater. There you go. And let's look and see what else is going on. LGHL. We did the line. Did you hear it, Scott? I went through the big cats. I'm not sure if you heard it, but I'll do the LGL again, LGHL again. And that one was pulling back. The other big cats, I think, were all setting up, and this one was the only one that was kind of pulling back at the moment. It was more flat today. But again, it had that dip down, so we were looking to see if that 14 was its bottom, and that was that LGHL and SGN. Let's look at that bad boy. Signing Day Sports. That ran up today. I know we were looking at it recently. I was just going to say we were looking at this, and it went 203 to 724. There you go, guys. That was a big popper that we had over 100%. It's at 448. I mean, you can look at it in the morning and see if it continues up there. But there you go. It got up into that 20 and ran real good. Nice pop right there for SGN. I like it. AGRI. Let's look at Agra Force, Agra something. I forget what it's called. Agra Force. Yeah, Agra Force Growing Systems. And this thing looks like it's curling back up. Made a base right there. Not looking too bad. AGRI. So yeah, I would say that's looking pretty decent. 238 to 282. It's at 246 and not looking bad right there. So I would say that's looking good. AGRI. And let's see. B hat, we looked at that one. And let's see, we have our laptop travel list right there. PBM, we looked at that the other day. And I think that ran up today, didn't it? Yeah, that was up today. That's at PBM, that like science, biomedical. I think they have like mushrooms or something going on, something crazy happening. But yeah, this one started to pop up and isn't looking bad either. So you keep an eye on this PBM and see. It does look like it wants to run up again right there. So that's not looking bad. Let's see what else you guys want to look at. I'll go ahead look at our stock twits and all that. And I'll look at the scanner over here. We'll see if anything else. ETF, that dip, yeah, I'm telling you, it's a good dip right there. It will go right back up, and so I'm not concerned one bit. And let's take a look and see what's going on the scanner over here real fast. Here we go. NVIDIA pulling back. That SLXN was run up again today. That thing was running, huh? Popped up again today. It ran yesterday and ran another 100% today. So that was a good popper right there. And that OCEA was dipped down. We looked at it. TNXP, that was finally pulling back. And them RGTIs and them other ones, they're just like jumping around. Like I said, I've been looking at them. B hat, again, hitting that bottom. SGN popped up. And Plug looks like it's going to try to get set up. I'll keep an eye on that. PLUG, see when it wants to run. And that BABA was up some more. And Wolf, WULF, we'll look at that Terra Wolf real quick. And that thing looks like it's going to try to get set up. I don't know if it's ready just yet, but it's going to try. And remember Ford, I was saying it was pulling back the other day. They have earnings coming up on the 5th, and Ford looks like it's ready to get moving. So keep an eye on the letter F on Ford. And that GSAT we looked at and Lucid looks like it could get set up. Tilray's way down there, and so is MGOL and JetBlue. So a bunch of them way down. Let me look at one more page real quick. SXTP, that was up today. That's at 60 degrees pharmaceuticals. And I'm telling you that GCTK was trying to get moving. And what about Acon was down right there? ABEV was just kind of hanging out. And CRKN is still in the basement. And that EVTV was running up some more. So that thing we were early on right there. Let me see the volume side real quick, see if anything's going on over here. KRKR, that thing was moving right there. That's a China one. Advertising. And let's see what else. SGN, LGCL, what's that thing? Lucas. Oh, that thing was moving. I did see that today. Good old Lucas. And let's see what else. OKYO, another UK one. Pharma. That one was running up. I don't see anything too crazy. Like I said, I'll look at my scanners as well. UCAR way down in the basement down there. So we'll keep an eye on that thing. Big dip on UCAR. And let's see what else is happening here. STSS, big dip. We'll look for that to try to bounce back up. And I don't see anything else that crazy right there. Let me look at the FinViz. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else. And yeah, we'll go through whatever you guys want to look at. I'll tell you what's on my scanner. And let me look at the FinViz and that stuff. Asian stocks rise after Fed meeting today. That's right, that was today. And stock market news, the Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla earnings were out. Tesla stock turns higher as Elon Musk promises full autonomous robo taxis as soon as June. Wow, that's going to be crazy. So, yeah, I'm telling you, it just pulled back, but it's going to get set up to run. Stock futures rise after Meta Platforms Tesla report earnings, and Tesla earnings miss expectations as yearly income nosedives. So, there you go, a couple stories. Let me look on Stock Twits and see what's going on over here. And we'll see what's happening at Stock Twits World. Tesla is up, it looks like, in the after hours, up $16. And I thought it looked like it was down on mine. Let me look at this thing. Tesla, hold on. It is at 405, so yeah, it definitely is up. So, all right, Tesla is up, Meta is up, Uber is down. What's Uber up to? I remember we were looking at Uber, it ran up, and it is pulling back right there. I guess if Tesla's coming out with a robo taxi, Uber is going to be dipping, huh? ASTS, what's that one? That's ASTS Space Mobile. We were looking at this the other day. It was trying to run. What'd it do? It dipped down. It was trying to get set up there and took a nice dip. I don't even know what happened to this thing, but it did. They had a private offering back on the 27th, which was what, Monday it was? Oh yeah, they had a private offering on Monday, and this is like a $17 company, so it's crazy all these offerings and nonsense going on. Oh, market's wild right there. So yeah, that's ASTS. And IBM's way up. We looked at that. The other Wolf, WOLF. Let's look at that one. Wolf Speed. And this one is going to get set up, guys. It just had its earnings. Today it looked pretty good, and it does look like it's trying to get set up. So look at this one, WOLF, Wolf Speed, because that looks like it's going to run. American Airlines looks like it's up a little bit here. Let's look at that. AAL, and that looks like it's going to get running. So keep an eye on American Airlines here. That looks pretty good and looks like it wants to curl up right there. So that looks decent. And the video is down, and CRGX is way down. I don't even know what that is. Cargo Therapeutics. And let's see what it did in the after hours here. CRGX. Oh, yeah, big down. 1450 down to 288. It's at 315. So look at that one possibly for a bouncer CRGX. So there you go with that. And there you go with them bad boys. So we just looked at that. Let me go ahead and pull up my scanners real quick. You guys let me know if you just want to see anything else and get a piece of paper and a pencil out because I'm going to do the same thing and I'm going to jot some down. I'll tell you exactly what we're looking at. And again, I'm going to relabel these things a little better this weekend, but I have them all kinds of crazy ones. I can give you the crypto stuff. I can give you anything. Ready? I'll hop into crypto real quick and we'll just look at some things that are going to be hopping up on Coinbase here. Just let the scanner pull them up and see. We'll see what's happening here. Let's see what comes up. Hold on. And sometimes you go into like one or two scanners and nothing really pops up, and that's how you know nothing's going crazy. But here we go. REQ USD. Look at that one. That one's moving 11 cents. It's up to 12 cents right there. MOVE. These are crypto coins, guys. I'm just going to give you a couple quick ones. Move is moving up right there. It's up 1%. Mobile, MOBILE. That was up yesterday, and again the day starts at like 7 or 8, so it's between the 20, not looking bad. POND was running up there yesterday, and it got into the 20, and it's just kind of going to bounce around right there. Let me just take a look and see if there's anything on here. I'll look at another one real quick on that one and we'll jump in the stocks and look at everything. And again, let me know if you guys want to see anything. I'll look at it. American airline plane crash tonight. Holy cow, that sounds crazy. Where'd that happen at? That's wild. We'll have to look at that. Um, this one's still coming up. Nothing. Just that move, MOVE, looking good. Like I said, sometimes not a whole lot will pop up, but sometimes you'll get a bunch of them. So let me just go into the stocks. We'll look at the composite 1500 right here, the S&P composite 1500, and I'll just hop on one of these things, and there's like a million of them, so we can go a little crazy. Here we go. Ready? This one's curling up. It's ALAR. Nothing that crazy right there. This one looks really good. It's called AIRTP, Air T. Luis Rodriguez, you're gonna love this section right here. I'm telling you, because this is gonna get crazy. You're gonna see ones that you've never heard of before. I have no idea what these things are. And then if just look at these charts, I mean, they're just ready to pop. It's wild. CCTG, that thing was running around today. That's a crazy looking chart, but that's gonna get curled up there. Let's look at this one. CCIF, that one looks good. Carlyle Credit Income Fund shares. I've never even heard of these things. 778 to 782, that's where it's at. And again, they might not run 100%, but these things will just run around. I'll pick out a couple good ones here. That ICU is trying to run up. We've looked at that a few times. Let me just take a look. KTTA, that one's not that great. Let me just scroll down and look at a few. Like I said, there's so many of them. It's insane. Um, What's this one? SIMA doesn't look too bad. That could be a shell company. TLF, that one ran today, 451 to 518. Never heard of Tandy Leather Factory Company. I mean, it's just crazy. There's all these companies that you'll never hear of, and I've never heard of. And yeah, there's just tons of them. Let's see this. And like I said, I have like 50 scanners. I have to go through and relabel them so I know exactly which one is the one to click on. I was messing with a bunch today, and we'll see what's coming up here. Let me just take a look. These ones look good. NFG. This one had some good momentum today, 65 to 69.88. It closed at 69.26. NFG, National Fuel Gas Company. Again, I have no idea what any of these are. It's crazy. I can give you like 400 of them that are set up, and yeah, this thing it's running up into the top. It ran up in the after hours. It'll be a momentum play tomorrow. It'll be a million of them I never heard of. I'm telling you, it's crazy. AORT looks like it's trying to curl back up there. Let's see. ALV, that one's trying to run up. Let's look at these. ALV, Autoliv, and this one actually has earnings coming up on the 31st. So they're Friday, and this thing looks like it wants to run up. Again, just so many of them that I just never heard of. GDEN, Golden Entertainment. That one's cruising up right there, getting set up to run. TEX, this thing looks pretty good. Good old Tex. Check out that one. That one's getting between, that's in that channel running up right there. And I mean, all of these are just curled up, ready to roll. It's insane, guys. I'm telling you, it's so crazy. So if you have a scanner and chart set up right, and I'll put the video up right after the show so you guys can see it and let me know what you guys think. We can make it a little more, like I said, organized. And then just I'll take a couple I'll take some stock tickers each night, but we don't need to go through like 10 million of them and like everybody's portfolio every single night because we do go through a ton of them that are just like sitting there not doing anything. So instead of doing that, if people want to look at them, hop on here at nighttime and shoot them into the comments, and we'll definitely look at whatever you shoot over into the comments, and like I said, we'll try to focus on more things that are just ready to get ready, popping up there and looking good. So let me just hop on here. I'll look at some more. Let's see. Where are we? Oh, I went too low. Hold on. Here we go. Here's the small cap one. You want a small caps here? Here's some small cappers for us. CNK. Look at this thing, guys. Cinemark Holdings. I actually heard of that before. CNK. But yeah, that looks really good. The movie theater. Oh, that one looks really good, guys. CNK. Oh, wow. That one looks really nice right there to try to curl up and get moving. Keep an eye on that one. Eight. I didn't even write any down. I can go through them later. But this one looked good too. ATEN. It's up a little bit, but it's A10 Networks. ATEN. It's crazy. I'm telling you, there's just so many crazy ones. And this thing's going to roll off that MACD. They actually have earnings coming up on the 4th of next week. But yeah, that one looks like it wants to run up there a little bit more. And what about JJSF? This one's getting set up here. JJSF. This one doesn't look too bad. Let's look. That's J&J Snack Foods. I know what that company is. And that's in the basement. They have earnings coming up. And this is a well-run company. I know that. So they own like Super Pretzel. I actually know what this company is. And it's way down here at 137. It's kind of a discount. I know that. And yeah, this one could be a great one. J&J Snack Foods, JJSF. We'll have to keep an eye on that one for sure. And what about TGNA? Because that one looks real good. Tenga or something. I don't know what it is. TNGA. Let's look at it. TNGA. It didn't even pop up. Oh, it's TGNA. That's why I got to read it right. TGNA, and it's called Tenga or something. It's a broadcasting company, and this thing's curling up real good, looking nice to try to get running there. So keep an eye on that one. How about this one right here? It is just pulling back a little IDDC or IDCC. This one, SIG's looking pretty decent. Let's look. SIG, and that one is called Signet Jewelers or something, and it's way down here in the basement. It's getting set up. This is like one of them laptop travel lowdown ones that's gonna get set up and just start moving. So yeah, SIG, that one looks good right there. WINC, this one was cruising around today. It's called Wabash or something. I don't even know. And it was running around today, and that one is WINC. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's wild. Western asset. What is going on? What is it called? Wabash, and then this says Western Asset Short Duration Income. I don't even know. I guess it's an ETF. I'm not even familiar with that thing. Like I'm not even familiar with any of these. And WAFD, this one looks pretty nice too. I don't know what that is. I have to look it up. WAFD, it just looks crazy. WAFD Inc. It's a bank, and it's looking pretty good to get curled up there. So just a bunch of them right there for sure. Let me just keep cruising around here and see what else I see. Did I do that one? I don't think so. That was J&J Snack Foods. I'm telling you, that one keeps popping up. And I do know when they keep popping up on here, and you see a couple of them on the same chart. You know they're probably getting ready to rock and roll. This one looks good. Progress Software, PRGS. Look at this, PRGS. Let's see that one real quick. Yeah, that one just got out of the basement. It's bouncing off that bottom. It's at $56 and looking pretty good right there for PRGS. And Harmony, HRMY. Oh, this one's looking pretty good. Just going to try to roll off of there. HRMY. Let me look. HRMY, Harmony Biosciences. And yeah, this thing wants to roll off the MACD and run up a little bit higher. So again, they might not be 100 percenters, but they're going to move for you. Um, what's this one? That one's coming back down. And this one looks pretty nice. Let's look at it. LPG here. Let's look at LPG. Hold on. LPG. Dorian or something. It has earnings coming up on to Friday and it is curling up. I bet this one does pretty well. Check out this one, LPG. That one looks pretty good right there. It's curling up really nice. And there's another one. And like I said, there's so many of them. It's wild. I have so many scanners set up. I have them labeled a little bit, but I don't even, there's just too many of them. And then they pull up way too much stuff, and I have to be able to tell exactly what I'm looking at real quick. Like I just pulled up one where it says the price is squeezing. I don't even know what I made that as. So I just have to take a look and see what I have. I haven't, I just go through them real quick and just kind of cruise around and pick things out. And like I said, I can kind of see what's going to be happening. It's wild with these things. Let's see if this thing pulls anything else up. CAG. Oh, this one looks good. CAG. Let's see. So yeah, I just wanted to do something a little bit different tonight and see if it worked out. So yeah, let me know your feedback, guys, and let me know if you like it. But this one looks great. CAG. Holy cow. Keep an eye on that thing tomorrow. That one looks good. It's like a packaged food company. Con, what is it called? Angra? I don't even know. CONAGRA brands. And it looks pretty good right there, I must say. Let's see. What's ABNB? Is that Airbnb? Yeah, that one looks really good, guys. Airbnb's looking good. ABNB. That looks pretty solid to keep running up there. It's crawling through and going up, so keep an eye on that. That was up today and not looking bad. And Apple was up and looking pretty good. ATEN that we looked at, no, A10 Networks, CNK, Cinemark. So again, when you start seeing these things, or maybe we already did this. No, we didn't do this list because there's different ones on here. Again, there's somewhere some of these lists scanners will come up like the same exact ones, and you kind of know like, hey, that one's going to be good. This one just ran up a little fuse. LFUS. It was up $11 today, so that was already cruising. So yeah, let me I'll go through. I'll really start labeling these scanners so that I have them exactly like, hey, we do these like five of them and know exactly where we're at, and we'll pull some good ones off and see what's going on. Like AXDX, this one looks like it's trying to move. Hold on, let's look at it. AXDX. So yeah, we have tons of opportunities and different things we can do on the show. And yeah, AXDX, that one's curling up right there. Uh, that one's a little weird. BCDA, that one's already up there. AVTE, this one looks pretty decent right here. So yeah, I'll roll through a bunch of these things and we'll get them all organized and labeled. And like I said, I could go through and tell you a million of them that are going to go up. It's literally insanity, and it's a bunch that I've never heard of. You've probably never heard of them, and and I don't know where they even come from, but this scanner pulls them all up somehow. And yeah, they just start moving. It's the craziest thing I ever saw. I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, we can just have fun with that all the time and then have fun with the other scanners, everything else. So I think it's a good way to go. And then yeah, we can look at other ones, maybe have like one day a week where I'll take everybody's and we'll look at the whole list again and see what's up for like maybe on Wednesdays, like halfway through the week or something. We'll look at them. We'll figure something out. That way we're not just looking at the same ones every night. and then they're just not running anywhere. They're kind of just running flat, and we're just kind of looking at them. I'd rather look at a bunch of these that are setting up, and you guys can just jot them down. And like I said, there's a million opportunities. Like I'm looking at this AVT, it was up 4% today, up 12 cents. I don't even know what it is. I've never even heard of it. There's a million of them, like I said. So yeah, we could have a lot of fun with that. So I'm going to start organizing that scanner up and really getting that worked out good. And we'll just do a couple different things and change it up a little bit so it's not the same old routine. And I think it'll be a lot better. And really just focus on picking out the poppers, like what's really going to be moving. So we said that at the beginning of the year, and we kind of got away from it and started doing huge lists again. And I was like, you know what? Let's really get back to the poppers and focus on them. And again, the penny stocks are killing people because they're just reverse split and just too many offerings and too much nonsense going on, guys. So we can stick to things like this, like AVTE, that's at 258. They're not going to have an offering or reverse split. I guarantee it. I'm looking at it. I don't see any of them anywhere around here, and most of these ones don't usually have them. So there's a lot better setups out there than there's a lot better opportunities and setups than we're always looking at. And you can look at other places. That's where Laptop Travel, like his list is always amazing and different because he's just setting a scanner for different things and catching them off the 20 when they're curling up and looking good. And that's exactly what you want to do. You can run all over the place and you don't need to hit 100%ers. We can still look at, like I said, FinViz, if you look at it, it gives you pretty good idea of what's going on in the market. I love it for that. It's the best scanner for that, especially a free one. But if I really want to see like everything going on, I'll pop up on mine and I'll see everything I can go into crypto. And I mean, I see things like I said that you just don't see. And some of these will run and they're really easy setups. I mean, they're gonna run. Like I said, you might not get 100%, but you don't need 100%. You know this thing's gonna run up there and it's gonna run 8%. That's perfect. Your money right there. So I think we have a lot of great opportunities that we can tap into that we're letting slip by us. So, and again, just like that J&J snack food one, JJSF. I mean, that one I haven't seen anywhere, and it's looking great, guys. I mean, this one I might have to look at tomorrow for sure. JJSF. Like I said, I know that company pretty well, as a matter of fact, and I know who the owner is actually, and it's a well-run company. I know that, and yeah, it should be bouncing off. I don't even know, has it ever been in the basement? Once back here, and yeah, I mean, I'm going through. It's been in the basement a little bit. It don't stay in there very long at all. And it usually runs the top and just runs up, guys. So, like I said, I never saw this on any of the other scanners. Didn't know it was even down at this price. This is a discount down here, and it does have I think it's going to pop off the earnings. Jerry's probably got this thing all hopped up. Like I said, I know who the owner of the company is, so the thing's probably getting ready to rock and roll, and I wouldn't be surprised. And yeah, I didn't even see it on any other scanner, and it just pops up here. And like I said, we can catch a ton of them. So I think it's just a good opportunity. I just wanted to give it a shot tonight, see how it worked out. So definitely give me your feedback and let me know what you guys think about it. And anything else, like I said, I just thought it was a little crazy that we'd go through like all of them every day and just kind of the same list and change it around a little bit. Now we can just have a ton of different opportunities. Jot down like ones like this, like J&J Snack Foods for tomorrow, and really keep an eye on it because if you look at this, Luis Rodriguez, you're probably going to be liking this one for sure. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on these things and let me know what you guys think about it. And just changing it up a little bit. Like I said, I'm not going to not look at anything you guys want to look at. So if you want to look at anything, just shoot them over during the show and we'll look at whatever. It's a piece of cake. But yeah, I just think it's a little bit easier just to do it this way. Not even easier, just a little more productive to pick out a lot more poppers and opportunities for you guys to have rather than run through a huge list and then, I have to try to break it down to figure out what's going to be popping. It's kind of tough to do that. I mean, just because we go through so many, even if I mark them up and stuff, I'd rather not have the ones that aren't really set up yet. We see them when they get on the scanners. We'll see everything between laptop travel scanners. I'll have mine organized and the Finviz scanners. We'll see every single thing that's going to want to run, and then we can easily like just roll through that, see what you guys want to look at, anything else, check it out, and boom, we'll have a great solid show. It'll probably take the exact amount of time, probably a good 2 hours, but I think we'll have so many better opportunities, and I think you guys will end up doing way better off trading as well because these are just going to be solid setups that aren't going to get reverse split and just knock down an offering the next day. They're going to go up a couple days for you. These ones will be multi-days. Like I said, I've never seen them before, and you don't see them anywhere, but they actually run maybe because they don't get shorted down so fast. That's what I kind of think because they're not on the main scanners like the Finviz and stuff like that. I tend to think that they don't get shorted so fast. So they always seem to be better opportunities. Again, we'll find the 100%ers, but you can pick all the 100%ers you want unless you trade them perfectly smart. You're probably not locking in 100% anyway. So why not just go after like a J&J Snack Foods that's set up like that? And you know it's going up. I mean, it looks beautiful. It's at 137, and the 20's up here at like 144, and I think it ran up there today. Yeah, 138 to 144 today. I mean, that's a beauty coming out of the bottom. I mean, that is a gorgeous setup right there. And like I said, I didn't even know it was down there. Never saw it on any of the other scanners. And I think we have to definitely take advantage of this because that's a beauty right there. I mean, that's the ones you want right there. They're easy and yeah, J&J Snack Foods, solid company. Like I said, they own Super Pretzel and all kinds of stuff. They own a ton of stuff. And they might even own Dippin' Dots. I don't even know. He owns all kinds of stuff. I know that. And it is a big old company. So and they're well run. Like I said, I know the company pretty well, J&J Snack Foods. So that one I was surprised to see down there. And yeah, it should be bouncing back up and haven't seen it anywhere. It's about to crawl through that MACD and looks great there. So let's just take advantage of all these situations and find the best ones that we're going to have and nail them out the park. And like I said, I just want to focus on one trade, maybe a day. I mean, obviously, we can go through a bunch of them, but if you just focus on that best setup or a couple, like two or three of the best setups, and you're not looking at 150 different ones, you can really, really trade them smart and really zone in on what you want to trade. So things like that J&J Snack Food, JJSF, that's getting set up there at the bottom. It's a bigger cap one, but it's a solid company at 137. Even with their earnings coming up, I still may have to jump into this thing. Earnings next week, and it looks like it's going to fly off of there. So I can't imagine it dipping down harder. We'll look at it tomorrow. If it gets out of the basement tomorrow, it's going to keep moving. So, and it might even be a great play just for tomorrow and the Friday. So we'll keep an eye on it. And again, just a ton of great setups. I'm going to go through my scanners and reorganize them tonight and tomorrow, get that better so that we can keep cruising and just make the show a little more efficient. But I think it'll be more productive and better for everybody to lock in profits and have easier trades. That's what I'm really looking at. I don't want people to be getting into these things, and a lot of these penny ones are just screwing so many people. I get a lot of messages, and they look great. I mean, just for example, look at B Hat, 3 offerings in a week. We go through the list, and there's just so many of them now. It's just insane, and it's gotten ridiculous. So I think you got to just kind of stay away from them because they're just going to keep pulling that same nonsense as long as people are still trading them and they're just making money. So we'll just pivot the other way, focus on ones that aren't going to do that, and they're not on the main scanners. And again, I think they're just getting shorted down, and it's just the hype and everything. They're just able to do it to you. Whereas these ones, you're not just seeing all that hype and stuff, and these ones just run up steadily. They're just easy run ups, and they make you money real quick and easy. So I think that's an easier route to go, at least right now. And we'll look at the FinViz scanners, pick out the poppers there, and you guys will know exactly what's going on all over the place. So, and again, like the laptop travel ones are a lot of ones that you never heard of, but look what they do. They run like crazy. So if you set the scanner right, you don't need to necessarily get into like the hardcore ones that everybody's looking at, and you can still run up big ones, or we get in a lot earlier. Obviously, we usually see them earlier, and we see the setup. So that's my take on it. So let me know exactly what you guys think there. And I don't see anybody else wants to see anything tonight. So yeah, I think it's just more of a setup period too. So I was kind of thinking why the market was setting back up to get moving. Let's kind of try something a little bit different and see if we could find some other opportunities that are solid opportunities that aren't going to just pull back and dip on you. And like I said, I think like a J&J snack food, and we'll find ones in the $30 range. We've seen a couple of them up there. That CAG, what was that one at? Because that one looked good. I wrote a few of them down that I'll keep an eye on. Yeah, this one's at the $25 range, just crossed through, looks real good. So yeah, we can find them all over the place, all kinds of price ranges. I just have to set the scanner to whatever I want, and yeah, we can find these ones that nobody's looking at because no one's looking at CAG, and this thing will run up real nice. And even if it ran up to $27 and it goes up $2, guess what? That's a hell of a run up because 29 cents was over 1% today. So if it runs up $2, you got a nice run up, and it was really, really safe. And it will probably be a 2 or 3 day run up for you. So just trying to look in different ways. And I was just kind of thinking about it the other night and just thinking, I was just like, you know what? There's too many people getting caught in these penny ones that are just having, you're going to lose your money on a reverse split and offering or anything like that. Unless you catch the reverse split afterwards, like we look at and they pop up. But yeah, if you're in this thing and it has an offering, you're pretty much smoked. I mean, you're not getting back to that price tag. You're basically selling it at a loss, and you're just going to be miserable about it and watch them go down if you hold on to it. And they're tough. I'm telling you, I know the pennies really well. And like I keep telling you, it's not the same market it always was for them. So I don't want people to jump in and get caught up in these things and have a bad taste. Whereas you can just trade easier ones, and yeah, maybe they're not 100% runners, but guess what? They're nice and safe, and you're locking in profits. And like I say, we already figured it out. If you did like 2% a day and just turn it over, you'll make plenty of money, way more money than you're making at your job. I promise you. And like I said, this thing ran up 19 cents, 29 cents today, and that was 1%. So real easy ones, and these are a piece of cake to see. They all just run up real easy. And so let's do that. We'll check it out. Again, let me know what you guys think about that, and we'll keep things going. And I just want to have the best opportunities for you guys to be able to trade the best ones, the most lucrative ones, profitable ones, but also pretty safe. I mean, nothing's safe. It's the market. Everything's a risk, obviously. We all know that. That's why you have to do your due diligence. But I think if we're catching these ones that are running up and people aren't shorting them right down, you have a better opportunity to trade them, lock in your profits, and move on to the next one. So there you go about that one. And I did cover the LRHC. We did go over that, and I did not hear the interview. As a matter of fact, I wanted to listen to the replay, but I didn't see a replay on it. But it is up today, and it does look like it's going to cross through. I did mention that I did see that he was interviewing that CEO today. And so I did not hear about the company. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, I will check it out, ask them, and see what happened. But it does look good to try to curl up right there. So keep an eye on it. It was up like 10 cents and moving. So there you go with that LRHC. And yeah, we'll be back on for pre-market at 7 a.m. We'll do our Jolie's jumpers, our laptop lowdowns, our crypto. Maybe it'll look even better tomorrow morning. Let's hope it does. And that'll be really, really nice for us. So let's see what's going to happen tomorrow. And I think it's just a little setup pullback period, nothing too crazy. And again, there's some great opportunities out there. We just have to find them. And you also have to find the ones that aren't going to get destroyed immediately, like run up there for 3 minutes and then get shorted down because everybody's already watching it. They know it's going to happen. And yeah, like you can run up these 200 percenters and 100 percenters. We do it all the time, but again, you got to be able to trade them real smart. SLXN would have been a good one. That was a multi-dayer, but I mean, how many of them do you really see anymore? It's kind of crazy. And so we'll look at SGN tomorrow and see if that can do a multi-day. And because it ran up over 100%, they usually don't. And so yeah, it's just it's a crazy market, and we just want to take advantage and trade as smart as possible, and just do the best possible opportunities that exist at that moment, and that's what you have to look at. And sometimes, when these big caps like Nvidia are jumping around trying to reset up after a deep seek type thing happening, and it screws up the market. I roll into my scanner like that, and I find real easy ones like that J&J Snack Foods that I had no idea that was like looking like that. And then I'm like, yeah, that's the one, that's the ticket right there, something like that. And it makes it easy. Why the dust settles at least, and then these things get back to normal, and then you can catch these guys as they run up too. But we'll utilize both things since we have it, and I use it all the time. I'm telling you, I look at them, and there's always ones I've never seen before that are ready to pop. So there you go with that. That's just my take on it and what I was thinking. So I thought we'd do a little something different. So give me your opinions on it and let me know what you guys think. Thank you for tuning in. I always greatly appreciate everybody hanging out. Let me know if you guys want to see anything in the morning. I'll go over it. We'll be on at 7 a.m. breaking down the market, and let's hope that it tries to bounce up or even like flat. It would be fine. So we'll take a look at things in the morning. Things did pull back, and we didn't think they were going to bounce up today. I honestly didn't. We were saying that last night, and I still don't think they're ready to really bounce back up. So, a little setup period, but there are some great opportunities that we'll dive into, and we'll nail them bad boys while these are setting up. So, there you go, everybody. Greatly appreciate everybody hanging out. Laptop Travel and Doge Mama 9, John Wong, East Coast Beach Girl, RD, Ovi Groves, Barbara, Bong Pri Chan, Buddy, Zach, Dark Horse, Alicia, and Listener. And there was a bunch of other people on earlier I saw. And like I said, just let me know what you guys think about the scanner, and I'll make it way more organized. I just was trying to run through it and see what was going on there. So we'll organize it up and see what's happening. But I just think it might be the best idea to bring that in and give you guys some really solid trades and some solid tickers that we've never seen before that can be easy trades, is what I should say. So that's that. That was my mindset and my thought process behind that. So let me know what you think, and we'll cruise along and be open for pre-market tomorrow, 7 a.m., and we'll get rocking and rolling. And yeah, there's some great setups, and AMD I think is going to be looking good, and a couple other ones, that's Sterling and SYM. There's a lot of good ones, but again, the penny ones are just rough. The only one that really looked great was that GCTK. So keep an eye on that one tomorrow. And obviously, that PW was looking pretty good too, that power right. So that was looking nice. And I enjoy taking the whatever you guys want to look at. It's fun to check them out real quick. But like I said, I think we were just kind of looking at everybody's portfolios, their entire portfolios every night. And I don't know if we need to really break down every single one of them like that. We can just kind of focus on poppers and look at people's portfolios. If they're looking like they want to move or something, you hop on and check it out. But we really just kind of look at poppers, so we should just be in and out of them quick anyway, and not really holding anything long until it just pops and boom, you're in and out. So we try to time them right and get in and out. Like look at EJH. We knew that was running up the other night, and it ran up with the China ones, and that's what we try to do. So we'll maintain that, of course, and we'll just basically open it up a little bit more and have better opportunities. So there you go, everyone. Thank you for hanging out. Greatly appreciate it. Have a good night, everyone, and I'll catch you guys in the morning. So I'll see you guys at 7 a.m. Let me know if you guys want to see anything in the morning in particular. We'll go through it, and hopefully the market opens up a little greener than today, and we'll be off and rolling. Like I said, I think we have a little setup period, but we'll be back to it and crushing the market. And I'm gonna be looking at that J&J Snack Foods for sure tomorrow. So we'll look at that first thing in the morning there. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you at 7 a.m.